Hello everyone, this is BB Sengme and today I am going to discuss about the selection of materials. Okay, do subscribe for the latest videos of machine design. The knowledge of materials and their properties is a great significance for a design engineer. The machine element should be made of such a material which has a properties suitable for the conditions of operation. In addition to this, a design engineer must be familiar with the effects which the manufacturing processes and heat treatments have on the properties of the materials. The engineering materials are mainly classified as: first is metals and their alloys such as iron, steel, copper, aluminum, etc. Second is non-metals such as glass, rubber, plastic, etc. The metals may be further classified as ferrous metals and non-ferrous metals. The ferrous metals are those which have the iron as their main constituent, such as cast iron, wrought iron and steel. The non-ferrous metals are those which have a metal other than iron as their main constituent, such as copper, aluminum, brass, tin, zinc, etc. Following factors are considered while selecting material for any engineering component. First is availability, second is cost, third is mechanical properties, and fourth is manufacturing considerations. Let us discuss one by one. Availability. The material which is to be selected for particular component, that material should be readily available in the market in a large and enough quantity to meet the requirement. Cast iron and aluminum alloys are always available in abundance, while the shortage of lead copper alloys is a common experience. Okay, so as we know that the cost is also a part of it, is also one factor which is going to affect the selection of material. If a design engineer will select a material for the particular component, initially he will decide according to the load, according to the properties, according to the working condition. He have imagined that he is going to, or he have decided that he is going to select a particular type of material, but he haven't checked whether the material is available in the market in the required quantity or not. So in that case, he might have to purchase the same material from the remote location or from the city away from the his plant. So in that case, he might have to bear the excessive transportation cost of that material. Okay, so that excessive transportation cost is going to increase the final cost of the component. Okay, so while selecting material, a design engineer should select the material which is readily available in the abundant quantity. Okay, second is the cost. For every application, there is a limiting cost beyond which the designer cannot go. So I would like to give the example of a nano car, because the nano car is actually, it is the people's car made for the peoples of India. Okay, so the actual dream was to manufacture a car. Actually, the dream was to manufacture the car within 1 to 1.2 lakhs. Okay, so the cost was the main parameter while before going for the design of nano car. Okay, so cost was the main consideration. So while selecting material, while selecting the number of components for any while doing the assembly of vehicle, for every moment the design engineer have to focus on the cost, whether the cost is in the range or whether the cost is exceeding. So if the cost is going to exceed the final sale price of the component, okay, or the product, then there is no use of the particularly manufacturing and selling of that component. Okay, so for every application there is a limiting cost beyond which the designer cannot go. When the limit exceeds, the designer has to consider an alternative material. Okay, so if the cost of the material is going to increase, in that case the designer have to go for the alternative material which is the cheaper one. In cost analysis, there are two factors, namely a cost of material and the cost of processing of material into finished good. In some cases, what happens, the cost of the raw material may be low, but the processing may involve the costly machining operations. Okay, so cost is the main parameter, it is the important parameter while selecting the material. Next is the mechanical properties. The mechanical properties are the most important technical factor governing the selection of material. They include strength under static and fluctuating loads, elasticity, plasticity, stiffness, resilience, toughness, ductility, malleability, and hardness. Depending upon the service conditions and the functional requirement, different mechanical properties are considered and suitable material is selected. Let us discuss the different mechanical properties. First is, before that I am going to give the example of the connecting rod. Okay, so while selecting the material for the connecting rod for the internal combustion engine, it should be, that particular material should be capable to withstand fluctuating stresses which are induced due to the combustion of fuel. In this case, endurance limit criteria of endurance limit is the criteria of, or will be the criteria of selection. So the design engineer should know the concept of endurance limit. Okay, so some mechanical properties are there while selecting. Before selecting the material, a design engineer should be familiar with that properties. He should be familiar with that properties. Okay. While selecting the material for the piston ring, so as we know that the piston is the part which reciprocates or slides inside the cylinder. Okay, so while selecting the piston rings are subjected, or they are subjected to wear against the, because of the rubbing action against the cylinder surface. Okay, so the requirement is it should have high wear resistance. Okay, so this surface hardness is the selection criteria for selecting the piston rings. Okay, similarly, if you take the example of bearing, the bearings are used to reduce the friction. Okay, so while selecting the material for the bearings, a low coefficient of friction is required. Okay, so that the bearings are in that case the bearing will work with high efficiency. Okay, so low coefficient of friction criteria is used for the selection of material while selecting the material for the bearings. But in case of clutch and brakes, here you can see that clutch and brake linings, high coefficient of friction is required in case of while selecting the material for the brake and clutch linings, because clutch is the component which is used to transmit the torque. Okay, and brake is the brake is actually used to stop the vehicle. Okay, so it is going to absorb the kinetic energy, it is going to convert the kinetic energy into heat energy. Okay, so high coefficient of friction is required while selecting the material for brake linings and clutch. And but other than this, while selecting the material for bearing, low coefficient of friction is required. Similarly, when a design engineer is going to select the material for a car body, so what is required, as we know that the car bodies are having intricate shapes. Okay, so the material for automobile bodies and hoods should have the ability to be extensively deformed in a plastic range without fracture. So that is the most important criteria while selecting the material for the car body. And it should and the plasticity is the criteria, selection criteria for the material selection in case of car bodies or automobile bodies. So let us discuss about the important mechanical properties. The important mechanical properties of material from the consideration design are strength, rigidity, toughness, resilience, shock resistance, wear resistance, creep characteristic, corrosion resistance, frictional properties, and hardness. So let us discuss one by one. First of all, strength. Strength is the ability of material to withstand stress without fracture is called as its strength. Already I have in the lecture of, during the lecture of types of stresses, I have discussed regarding stress. Okay. Second is the ductility. It is the property of material to undergo deformation under tension without fracture is called as ductility, or it is also called as, it is the ability of material to be drawn into thin wires. Third is the hardness. The ability of material to withstand scratching, wear and abrasion or indentation, or it is also called as a penetration by a harder bodies, is called as a hardness. Hardness is having many definitions. Hardness is also called as a resistance to scratch. It is also called as a resistance to penetration. It is also called as a resistance to wear. Next is toughness. Toughness is the amount of energy that a material can absorb before it fractures. Next is resilience. It is the capacity of material to absorb or store energy up to elastic limit and to resist the shock and impact. Okay, so resilience is the property which is required for the selection of material in case of springs. Okay, so the actual application of springs is to absorb the shocks. Okay, though, so without any plastic deformation, and to release whatever the stored energy gradually. Okay, so resilience is the main criteria while selecting the material for the springs. Okay, the materials, those who have high resilience, they will be preferable. They are preferable for the spring application. Next is creep. The slow and progressive deformation of material with a time at constant stress is called as creep. So creep is the important criteria. Creep property is considered while selecting the material, those who are subjected or those who are facing the high temperature. Okay, so the components those who are used in high temperature area, because of the temperature there is a possibility of change in dimensions. Okay, so the creep is the main criteria. In the materials those who have high creep value, they are preferred, they are selected for the components those who are used in the high temperature zone. Next is the corrosion resistance. It is the deterioration of material by a chemical reaction with its environment. Also many components are there, those who are subjected in the corrosive, those who are used in the corrosive environments, like components used in the ships, underwater components are there, components used for the pressure vessels or boilers. Okay, so they might be get subject, or the component used in the food industries, so there is a possibility of corrosion. So the corrosion resistance is also important criteria for selecting the material, while selecting the material. Next is the brittleness. It is the property of material by virtue of which it will be fractured without appreciable deformation, is called as brittleness. Weldability. It is defined as the ease with which a material can be welded under a given set of conditions. Now the fourth is the manufacturing consideration. It is important consideration in selection of materials. Sometimes expensive materials are more economical than low cost materials, which are difficult to machine. Free cutting steels have excellent machinability, which is an important factor in their selection for high strength bolts, axles and shafts. Where the product is of complex shape, castability or ability of the molten metal to flow into intricate passage is the criteria of material selection. In fabricated assemblies of plates and rods, weldability becomes the governing factor. The manufacturing processes such as casting, forging, extrusion, welding, machining govern the selection of material. Okay, so sometimes while selecting the material, if our intention is to fabricate something, then we have to check whether the material, weldability of that material, whether it is suitable for welding. While producing the complicated parts, we may have to go for the casting process. So we have to check whether for the intricate parts one more property is required, which is called as the fluidity of metal. If the material will not, or molten metal will not possess that much amount of fluidity, then it is not possible to fill the complete mold. Okay, so fluidity is also important criteria. So while doing the casting of complicated parts, we should check whether the material is having sufficient fluidity or not. Okay, so the manufacturing consideration is nothing but we have to check whether the material is suitable for the particular manufacturing process or not. So most commonly used engineering materials are cast iron, alloy steel, plastic and aluminum alloys. So let us discuss about cast iron. Okay, so it is having low shrinkage and it is having good fluidity and castability. So we can use the cast iron for the intricate casting of intricate shapes. So many engineering applications like car parts, cylinder heads are there, blocks are there, gearbox cases are there. Okay, so many of the engineering applications are which are casted, okay, which are used in automobile components are mostly made up of cast iron. Also foundation of big machines are materials used for the foundations of big machines is the cast iron. Cookwares, because the cast iron having the excellent heat retention because of the graphite is present in the cast iron, okay, in the forms of like flake graphite. Next material is the alloy steel. It is having there are different types of alloy steel. The alloy steel, those who are having greater than 10% of weight alloying element. Low carbon steels, which is having less than 0.25% of carbon. Okay, medium carbon steels, which is having 0.25 to 0.6% of carbon. High carbon steels, 0.6 to 1.4% of carbon. High alloy steels will have the alloying elements in the greater amount. Stainless steel, which possesses the chromium. Okay, let's discuss about the low carbon steels. It is least expensive material. It is having good weldability and machinability. Applications of low carbon steels are automobile panels, nails and wire. Low temperature pressure vessels. For the low temperature pressure vessels we can use the low carbon steels. Let's discuss about the medium carbon steels. Addition of chromium, nickel, molybdenum improves the heat treating capacity of medium carbon steel. Actually, it is alloy steel. Heat treated alloys are stronger but have lower ductility. Application is railway wheels and tracks, gears, crankshafts. High carbon steels are having properties. It is having carbon content higher, which provides the high hardness and strength. It is having hardest and least ductile. It is used in hardened and tempered condition. It can be used for the hardened and tempered conditions. Applications, it is used as a tool and die steels owing to the high hardness and wear resistance capacity. Plastic, the properties are thermoplastic, rational can be neglected. It softens. Applications are self-lubricating, bearing, cams, walls, seats, silent gears. Okay, so plastic components can be manufactured, that can be used in the machines also. Okay, next is aluminum alloys. It is having low specific gravity, high corrosion resistance, easy to fabrication, high thermal conductivity. Applications are, right now many of the engine components are traditional materials are replaced by the aluminum alloys. Okay, so many of the car engines are made up of aluminum alloys. Engine cylinder blocks, castings for wall body, connecting rod, flywheels, piston and cylinder head. Okay, that's it. Thank you.